Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hopefully everybody's having a great day. Um, if you're wondering why I look so gray, I actually climbed the high moisture silo before, so we're a little dusty. Anyways, we are kind of finishing up the day here. Just kind of bumming around, as I would say. Um, we made another 90, almost 100 bales of DNR hay today. Um, Loaded out one semi-load. We got another semi-load to go tomorrow. That a customer's hauling them all for me. Um, we made some oat straw. I bought some oat straw. We did that yesterday. We made 60-ish bales of that. Got that all hauled home last night. And we baled hay today. Tomorrow I got 2 custom jobs. Probably about 40 acres total. And then one of my cousins is getting married on Saturday, so I have rehearsal tomorrow night and wedding on Saturday. So we're trying to get everything done in a timely manner and try not to overbook a whole lot. So as the day kind of comes to an end, we're just kind of messing around in here. So you might notice a few changes. There's shelves over on that wall, and we started moving stuff. We put a whole bunch of jugs and all our random chemicals, and there's some 80-90 up there, a couple jugs of 80-90, fly spray, just random chemicals that accumulated over the years that don't really know what to do with. I'm sure we'll use most of it sooner or later. So that shelf over there was originally over here. If you're following along, I cleaned off all the random junk stuff that I felt we were never going to use, because the eventual plan is to take this wall down and insulate this entire, from that wall to that wall, and put a big door in there, and make kind of a shop work area in here for the winter months. So we got that shelf moved. We got tonight I kind of just picked up, we had a whole bunch of jugs there. All them jugs on top were just kind of sitting here. We pulled them out. I need to go through this corner and then start going through those shelves. There's a bunch of parts, bunch of just random things that at one time got thrown on there. Here I just kind of busted it open to see what the insulation that was in it looked like. Still on the fence what I want to do with that. Have been looking into like foam board, like 2-inch foam board insulation. This is the kind of the supply room as of lately. If you're a real follower, I redid our Brilliant stalk chopper in here. We dragged it in sideways, and this is all insulated. At one time they parked a loader tractor in here in the winter and heated it so it would start. Yeah, it's kind of just a supply room. It needs to get picked up again. Pallets and plastic wrap and stuff like that need to get just picked up. So earlier in the week we moved some steers. We had these 5 girls. Those 3 there are mine. Came out of my beef cows. And then we have 2 white park heifers that Dad had picked up at an auction, and we kind of just decided that we might try and breed them. So yeah, we just wanted to separate these out. These beef heifers will get really fat, so they should really have a bunch of that low quality hay in here to just kind of thin them out a little bit with just a little bit of silage. Finally got the goats back out in the pasture. Oh, another thing, we'll see if we can find them here. I might have to go through the shed. So I come through here, it's a little easier to get in. Here we got a bunch of straw, wheat straw. Actually the majority that came off of our acres. I'm not seeing him. There's the beef herd. I still got a steer out there that we need to pull out. Trying to just run out of time. Well, where is he? So we actually purchased a new, actually we did not purchase him. We actually traded him. So here he is. We traded that our black and white paint for this guy right here. At one time we had a brown spotted buck, and actually those two right there came out of him, and we found him, and boy, you're a little bit tamer than you usually are. The lady that had him was actually looking for a new buck, so we ended up just kind of trading, and it worked out pretty good. I know the day he showed up, he had a couple of them bred already, so that's good. So we're doing things a little bit differently this year as far as breeding goes. We are just kind of, instead of going group by group, we're just kind of lumping them in together. I think we're going to end up with probably like 2 groups. So this group, I don't remember how many are in here. There might be like 15, or I believe there's about 16 in here. And in a couple weeks we will be I think throwing in another 10 or so. And just kind of, we're gonna try and lump it together, get it done, and you know, go from there. Might as well walk out here and see what's going on. The cows have been keeping this pasture nipped off. I had them locked off of this big pasture, and I had them on this little pasture. I'll try and not blind you in the sun there, but I ran the wire across this pasture. We closed that off. They've been on this one. I threw a bale of hay in yesterday, and so far we're just kind of gonna let them go and see what happens. If we gotta supplement them, we gotta supplement them. They're pretty fat. I do have some baleage left over, some peas and barley that's wrapped there. I can't imagine any of that's good yet. There's only maybe 8 or 9, maybe 10 bales. It's probably 8 or 9 because the ends. But it just kind of got away on me. I let it sit for a little too long, and then I couldn't keep up with it then. So I might go ahead and we might cut that open and see what it looks like. And if I find something decent, we might dump it in here. But speaking of the baleage, another thing I got to do is walk out where our wheat was back here and show you what we got going on there. So I don't know if you can tell or not, but we got a green field here. This stuff shot out of the ground. It must have had perfect growing conditions and perfect weather, or who knows. I really don't know. This stuff is kind of just amazing me as far as how fast it's coming up. Obviously this is probably where a pile of wheat straw laid or something, or maybe he loaded the cart here and missed a little bit. But I don't know how well it's picking up now, but we got a lot of little barley. There's probably some wheat coming up. So I put in a barley and pea mix, and I did that on Friday, and I guess tomorrow is Friday. So this was up in about 5 days, and I'm honestly kind of surprised on how fast it came up. Here's my planting rig yet. I still have a little bit of seed in there that I want to actually I'm just gonna drill it right in here, and it'd take you long, but I'm debating I might run up by the shed and kind of show you guys the shed once. But yeah, so that's up, and we'll be making this into baleage here about end of September, October sometime. Well folks, here it is. We need a little bit of rain to wash the tin off there, but I'll try and get you a better shot here. So this is kind of the front end here. We put 2 doors in here, or 14-foot doors, and then we're putting a 25-ish foot door on this side. I think over there we're gonna have open. Close this off. So we still gotta do some patching on the roof, cut these purlins off, patch the roof. We will tin up the side of the truss on both ends. Actually, both ends are open. Yeah, she's full. We got, actually, here's some oat straw right here that we did last night. We got wheat straw in along the wall here, and we got some tinning to do here. At some point we still need to, I think we're out of screws. We still got some corn stalks left. I'm not sure what they look like under here. We got kind of busy. Our pile kind of ripped. So this right here is what we're trying to get rid of by putting this shed up. And we've learned how to control this, but here this side is ripped open, and you know, a lot of these we might just end up using ourselves. Set up the bagger today. We started bagging some hay, just pulling out of the shed, trying to just make room for the next stuff. We are missing a kind of a tension bungee on there for the bag, so the bag's a little bunched up. It's probably not the most efficient thing to do, but when you got plastic on all sides of the bale and the bales are dry, it works pretty good. So yeah, 2 doors here, and we still gotta, we need some tin there. We'll tin that. The roof is completely done, besides the very edge here. We need to nail a board on to the end of the truss and then screw the tin down, which they started there. So also got to do some work to the peak there. We didn't put the cap on yet, but yeah, so it's up. It is far from beautiful. Some of these trusses are really cobbled together, but we did what we had to do. This one right above my head, you can see, is sandwiched together. We took pieces of what we had and just kind of mended it together. Like there, they nailed a block on, and shit. So it's not beautiful, it's not perfect. To be honest, none of the buildings on our farm are beautiful and perfect. I had a bunch of friends out here, and they were, some of them were like, yeah, this looks bad. Are you sure this is how you want to do it? And then the next guy was like, well, it's not a church, it's a hay shed. And that's kind of our mentality. It doesn't have to be perfect, it has to be functional. And this falls under that category where it needs to be functional, it needs to work, it needs to be strong. As far as the outside goes, yeah, it looks fine from the road. You can't tell that it's maybe a little crooked. Some of the posts might be a little crooked. They started out perfect, but when it came down, the posts were still on the ground, so we just pulled them as straight as we could, and we did what we could without working too hard or setting us back too terribly hard. We need to get a bunch of bolts, and we're gonna go around and bolt the whole shed together for the most part. At least the trusses to the posts. I'm thinking that's mainly what we're gonna do, just to be extra sure that it's gonna stay together. So I don't know if I've talked about this yet, but we had nine trusses up. I want to say about 7 of those had the purlins, and the purlins are the let me try and get my finger here, the 2x4s that run in between. So you set the truss, and then the 2x4s get nailed. You set them on the standing up, and you put a nail through that into the top of the truss. We had, I want to say, 7 of the 9 trusses that were up had those on all the way across, and we had some straight line winds come through. Now this was I'm talking to you now is a couple days after Iowa got hit with those straight line winds. This was way back around the 4th of July. and it was just our little stretch here. It was nothing compared to what they had down there, but our shed, the corn across the road, the neighbor's corn across the road, which is standing back up again to the next road, you could see, the winds had came through, and it's just our little area here. So we were real close to not getting any winds, and that's just how it is. Now, you get the trusses up, you get the purlins nailed on, and you can stand up on top of there and shake the whole building. But once you start putting that tin on, it turns solid. You wouldn't think the steel or the steel or the tin or whatever you'd like to call it does a whole lot, but definitely tightens everything together. So as far as are we done building shed for this year? Yes, for the most part. We got side steel to put on, just gotta kind of cap up the ends and stuff. We already are kind of planning into next year. Obviously she full. We figure there's a couple hundred bales of straw, probably close to 200, 250, and probably close to 700 bales of hay in here. There can't be 600 bales of hay. And we got a ways to go yet on that DNR stuff. But ooh, sun's gonna be in the way here. Well, I'm gonna stand over here. We're kind of talking about putting a lean-to out. We'd probably go right off this 2x12, like an 18-foot or 18 or 20-foot plank, and just put a little lean-to on. And we may actually do that on this side as well. I'm not sure. This is kind of where we got permitted to build, even though we're plenty far off the road. There's some sort of mix-up with the right-of-way on the road, and here actually is where this would have been the original corner post right here under these, so that's close to 15 foot right there. And it was just kind of a stupid, it's very irritating because that set us back an entire day. If that wouldn't have happened, we might have had steel on this building when that winds came through, and would it still have held? I don't know. Potentially they really would have tightened everything up, so maybe it would have, I don't know. But however, we had to move the shed back, and now we are like way off the road. The road is well, that's on the other side of the road. The road's right in front of that. So would be nice if we could put a lean-to on this side as well. We figured just like two rows, like 4 high and 5 high, and same on the other side. And eventually, if we are still needing more storage, we may extend out with the 50-foot truss again. But we'll see how that goes. Anyways, I've talked to you way too long. I've been out I just went out before I came over here. I went and cruised around and checked some hay fields. We got some new seeding hay that we put in this spring that needs to get cut again, and I think we're gonna make some baleage out of that, feed the cows. I went out there and checked that, and then I drove through our other hay fields. Be third crop growing there now, which will get knocked down here in the next few days. So yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, throw them down there in the comments. I will answer them in the video, unless you specify otherwise. Appreciate everybody here. Appreciate the likes. If you haven't done so, subscribe. It really helps me out. It really kind of boosts me out into the world, I guess you could say. So I really appreciate that. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.